What's going on, guys? It's Jake Camaro here with the second episode of the Flashback Friday Halo Special. Today we're going to be taking a look at Halo 2, and first of all, I apologize this video is up on Saturday instead of Friday. On Friday, I got an invitation to go see The Dark Knight Rises, kind of in the middle of the day, and it took basically almost the entire day, so I was not able to get this uploaded or recorded, but I'm getting it uploaded today, which is usually better than what I usually do, because sometimes I've had to cancel the episodes entirely, but with the Halo special, I wanted to stay on time and on schedule. So like I said, we're taking a look at Halo 2 today, and this game was, it's only in 480p, so I'm only going to be uploading it in 480p. I would upload it in high definition, except that would take a lot longer, and you really wouldn't even see the difference. So that's why this video would not be HD. So Halo 2 was released on November 9th, 2004, pretty close within a year of the Xbox 360, and pretty close to the end of the Xbox's lifespan. This is just kind of like the last big title, much like Halo 4 probably will be for the Xbox 360. First off, starting out, when I first loaded up this level, it took a long time to load, almost at least 5 minutes, and that's a little annoying. Like, I understand that because it was close to the the end of its lifespan, it was kind of pushing it to its limits, and it took a long time to load, but I really don't think that's acceptable to take 5 minutes just to load one level. If you were going to buy it now, even if it is, if you do put it up on your Xbox 360, it would still take a really long time to load, and I kind of wish that Bungie kind of worked that out, but I understand why, because the graphics for the time period, these graphics were really good, a huge step up over what Halo Combat Evolved showed. We had a lot more textures on people, Master Chief looks a lot better, and just the entire gameplay runs a lot smoother. So, Halo 2 was the first Halo game actually integrated with Xbox Live, so of course it had online multiplayer, which we will talk about in a second. The campaign was kind of and it was after Halo Combat Evolved, and Bungie kind of had to work on it a little bit, because Halo Combat Evolved was not meant to be it wasn't meant to have a sequel, so the Halo 2 storyline, they kind of had to change it, and one interesting thing that they did is what you're seeing right here is kind of like a Covenant cutscene. This is the beginning of the level Cario Station, which is actually the first playable level in the campaign. There are a couple missions that are just like cutscenes and tutorials, but this is really the first level. You're actually seeing a Covenant cutscene, and so in this game you actually play as Master Chief, and then there's another half of the campaign where it switches out every few levels as you're playing as the Arbiter, which is the elite commander responsible for Halo's destruction. He was punished by the Prophets, and then he kind of he became the Arbiter, which is he carries out really dangerous missions, almost like suicide missions, and you get to play as him, and it really expands the story. This was later completely scrapped in Halo 3. This is the only Halo game where you actually get to play as the Covenant, but I think it's really cool, and it shows kind of a different side to the Halo storyline. You're just kind of seeing a cutscene here, and this is right after Halo Combat Evolved. Master Chief had come back. There's an award ceremony where he and Sergeant Johnson are getting awards, as well as Miranda Keyes is accepting her award, Captain Keyes' award on his behalf. So right now the Covenant actually attacks Earth, and you're you're tasked with trying to defend the station. So this is kind of the first gameplay that you're seeing. So, the gameplay in Halo 2 is a little different from what it was in Halo Combat Evolved. One really big thing is that you can dual wield, which you just see me here dual wielding 2 SMGs. This adds more damage, but then you can't zoom in on weapons. You can zoom in, you can't melee, you can't change weapons, I can't switch to my secondary right now, and then you can't throw grenades. But it is really cool, and especially the dual SMGs, they're a really, really deadly combo. One other aspect to Master Chief's health is that instead of Halo Combat Evolved, where you had your shield and then you had some health, and your shield would come back, but then you would need a health kit to refill your health, you just have a shield, which you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, right above the minimap. And it's a very different way to play Halo, because you don't have to be looking around for health packs. When it goes down to the very bottom, it starts to beep red, and then it shows red, and then it starts to beep. And then it goes back up, and you have complete health again. You don't have to go find any other health kits and stuff. And this stayed in Halo 3. It was also used in Halo 3, but then it was changed for Halo 3 ODST. But we will get into that a little bit later as we go on to those games. So right here, I'm kind of taking out the Covenant Elites. They did introduce a new enemy, the Brute, which is basically a large like enemy. You don't actually see it in this mission, but it actually really plays a big part in campaign. The graphics are way better. You see a lot more lighting, a lot more like brighter textures and such, and it just looks a lot more real. This game was released 3 years after Halo Combat Evolved, and it really shows that Bungie was really able to really step up the performance in Halo 2. Just a lot more textures, some particle effects, and it's just a really good looking game. Looking back on it now, it doesn't look as good, but you have to think for 2004, this was like top notch for a Halo game. Another interesting thing about the weapon types is the pistol was tuned down. Like, it was huge. Like, there's no comparison between the pistol in Halo Combat Evolved and the pistol in Halo 2. The pistol in Halo 2 is terrible. The main reason for that is because Halo 2 integrated online multiplayer for the first time in a Halo game. That was because when Halo Combat Evolved shipped, there was no such thing as Xbox Live, so the only thing you could do is if you wanted to play, you had to system link Xboxes together. You got into like LAN parties and stuff, which was cool, but they wanted to take it to the new Xbox Live system. So that's why they didn't make it as powerful. You can dual wield it, but really the power of the pistol was not really brought back until Halo 3 ODST. For Halo 2 and 3, it was really a bad weapon and not really a weapon you would want to choose. They did introduce a ton of new weapons for Halo 2. They brought in the energy sword, which you could see in Halo Combat Evolved, but was not playable. They brought in the battle rifle, which is what I'm using right now. It's a 3-round burst weapon that can zoom in, and it was kind of the replacement to the pistol, the main go-to weapon for the campaign. One really big thing with the weapon choices and such is they completely took out the assault rifle. They kind of replaced it with the SMG, but the SMG was still very different than the assault rifle. Which was very strange. The assault rifle is seen as a lot of people as really the weapon of Halo. It's been in almost all the Halo games, and when you think of Halo, one of the weapons that you think of is the assault rifle. And it's very interesting that they took it out for Halo 2. They brought it back for Halo 3, but in Halo 2, that was the one weapon that they did take out of the entire game. The campaign is definitely a lot longer. There's more missions, and there's more varied environments. You're not just going through a bunch of Forerunner structures. You are, like, right now you're on a human base. You go down to Earth for a little while in New Mombasa. You go to the Covenant, Covenant structures for some missions. And of course you have like I said earlier, you get to play as the Covenant a little bit, as the Arbiter. You're not going to be seeing the Arbiter in this gameplay, but one interesting gameplay element of the Arbiter is that you can actually turn on this, like, active camo, which kind of makes you invisible. It recharges over time, so you can't like use it for a long time, but as in the Arbiter missions, it really comes in handy. Of course, we're playing as the Chief here. He has his flashlight. The Arbiter does not have that, so that's a little switch off between the two. As well, the HUD is a little bit different, and it's just cool how they changed it. In this mission, I kind of ran out of ammo quite a bit, so that's why you see it. One of the UNSC towers, like cannons, just exploded. Like, the Covenant's trying to invade Earth, and it really starts out the Halo 2 campaign with a pretty cool story mission. Again, it starts it in a, like, UNSC space area, as with the original Halo in, is it the Forward Unto Dawn? Yeah, no, it's not Forward Unto Dawn. I don't remember the name of it. Right now I'm taking down an elite. I'm meleeing a little bit. The battle rifle has a scope that you can scope in, but you're not going to be seeing me use it a lot because I like to fire from the hip. I can pick off a couple headshots with enemies. Right here I kind of get stuck. I have to go back a little bit. There's some new weapons for the Covenant as well. You're going to be seeing, like I said, the energy sword for the first time, as well as a couple new ones. Some of those won't really be seen until a little bit later in the campaign, but they are definitely cool, and it really expanded. This game is such a bigger, like, game than Combat Evolved was, with online multiplayer, which I guess we can talk about a little bit. So it really, because Xbox Live had been released, so they went to the online, online stuff instead of over System Link. and this was really the big game for Xbox Live, and was continued to be played actually until Xbox Live functionality was completely turned off for the original Xbox in 2010. So after 6 years, there are still people playing this game. The multiplayer was just really, really good. Some maps actually in Halo Combat Evolved, not Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, actually were released in Halo Reach as some of the Forge maps, as well as a couple of Halo 2 maps were released in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, that map pack. So definitely the maps were really, really fun. This actually, some multiplayer maps actually inspired Forge World. There's a map called Ascension, which was actually on that like rock in the rear left area of the map where you come out of that like hangar area to the very left, like immediate left. There's this rock, and that was actually what it was based off of. So this was quite a bit of inspiration for later Halo games. One main problem with the campaign is that Bungie had to face a release date. This was kind of their like a much larger game than Halo Combat Evolved was, and they wanted to integrate a lot more into it. This game was officially announced a couple of years before it was actually released, and the demo that was shown at E3 was never actually integrated into the game because they completely changed the engine, and this game was barely ready for release. Bungie actually had to cut out about a third of the campaign just to make the street date, so that kind of brought to a cliffhanger ending where I'm not going to spoil most of it, but at the end Master Chief basically says I'm gonna finish the fight, and that was actually that was not gonna be the end of the campaign. There's gonna be a whole new section, but that was actually integrated into the first few about first hour or so of Halo 3. So you still have to play as that, but it definitely brought a it did not really end. There was no real closure to the campaign, and it was kind of a mystery that kind of stuck around for 3 years before Halo 3 was released in 2007. Right here I'm actually outside in like a space environment. Master Chief is more super soldier-like in this, so he can take a little bit more damage. He can jump really, really high, and he just seems more Spartan-like. Right here you're going to be seeing a new type of enemy. It's bugs, and they fly around. They're pretty hard to hit. You really need a not like a shotgun or something to take them out. They released quite a few more enemies into Halo 2's campaign, just to make it longer, to make it stand out more. And it's a very enjoyable experience throughout the entire campaign. I really liked it. I got Halo 2 about a year ago. I actually did an unboxing of it. We didn't get that good user feedback, viewer feedback. A lot of people were saying that I shouldn't have bought the limited edition, but I don't really care what they think, because I really enjoyed Halo 2. Even if I did get it in 2011, it's still a really good game, and if you're a big Halo fan, you really need to play this, because this is a big, you really need to play this before you play Halo 3, because when you play Halo 3, which I did, Halo 3 was the first campaign I ever played in a Halo game, you really did not understand the campaign at all, because I'm not going to spoil it, I'll talk about it later, but you have to go to some locations, and they were talked about and kind of originally come up with in Halo 2, and I really had no clue what I was doing in Halo 3 until until about a third into the campaign. I kind of started to understand what was going on. What you see right here is I'm actually going to pick up a Covenant weapon to dual wield, the just plasma rifle. And like I said, you can actually use more than you don't have to use the same two weapons to dual wield. So you can have a plasma pistol and a pistol on one side. You can have the SMG and the pistol on another. It's really cool how that works. And this is pretty cool because the plasma rifle, it actually it doesn't, you don't have to reload it. It's got like an overheating area, so you can actually, like, as I'm reloading the SMG, I can keep shooting the plasma rifle, and I think that's really cool. Right here you see some flying elites, which were also introduced to Halo 2. They're a little bit harder to shoot because they kind of jump around. As you can see, Master Chief's jump is a lot. He can jump a lot higher than in Halo Combat Evolved. It's not like he wasn't a super soldier in Halo Combat Evolved, but it was refined in Halo 2. Right here you're gonna see me going to a little area where I kind of screw up. This is an elevator, and I don't understand that I actually need to look the other way when it goes down. So you're gonna be seeing me standing there for a second when we've actually landed or on the floor that I'm on. So Halo 2 was continued to be supported with some downloadable content, some map packs, which was actually all of them were released on a disc format. This is kind of the first time that's ever happened, besides the the Halo 3 Mythic like map pack thing that came with Halo 3 ODST, which allowed you to pay the entire Halo 3 experience without actually owning the game. So that was for like offline users who did not have Xbox Live. You can still buy that and add it to your console, but of course the Xbox Live for Halo 2 has been turned off, so that's kind of the only way to get the map packs now. User feedback was pretty good for Halo 2. It blew away Halo Combat Evolved's sales, and it was a really, really good game. It really ended the Xbox's life cycle with a bang, and it kind of showed that Halo was going to go on for a long time. People had known and figured out at this point that Halo was really going to be like the big title for the Xbox 360 and onward. There's still Halo games coming out today. Halo 4 coming out this fall, which was actually what this is for. Continues the storyline of Master Chief, which we'll talk about more in Halo 3 next week. Right here, this is was actually a little bit in the first cinematic teaser trailer for Halo 2, where Master Chief is taking a bomb out. This is all done in engine, so it doesn't look great as good as it did in that trailer, because that was not rendered in game. It was just unrendered, like computer created stuff, computer CGI or whatever. So Master Chief basically takes this bomb and is about to push it back at the Covenant ship to save Cario Station. The backdrops are pretty cool. You can see some ships engaging Covenant ships and fighters flying around. So that's pretty much the end of what I wanted to talk about. The Ranger 99 was not in this episode because he chose not to, because this was only like a one-person gameplay. He was not in the gameplay. Hopefully I can get him back for Halo 3, which we will be doing the campaign again. That's kind of the thing we're going to be doing with all the Halo games, because of course the first two we can't do multiplayer. So I think that we're really going to focus on campaign in Flashback Friday, as well as talk about the multiplayer. The game is, as you can see, the backdrops are really amazing. As you can see the planet. This stuff that could never have been achieved 3 years earlier when Halo Combat Evolved came out, as well as Bungie had a lot bigger budget for this game, so they were able to make it a lot longer, a lot bigger, and just a lot more exciting. Right here you see like a Covenant, not a Covenant, a UNSC ship explode. So if you want to pick up Halo 2, you cannot actually get it in games on demand, much like you can almost every other Halo game. You have to pick it up at the store. You can get it in the Platinum Hits Edition for about $20 now, new, as well as you can get the Limited Edition for pretty expensive now. It's about $130, which comes with a steel book and DVD, a making of DVD, as well as some cool little extras. I would definitely suggest playing this if you're a true Halo fan. Probably if you're a true Halo fan, you've already played it. But if you haven't, I would definitely check out Halo 2. Definitely one of the best Halo games in the series, and a big game for the Xbox. So if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe, rate, and we will see you guys next week for Halo 3 in our Flashback Friday Halo Special. Peace out.